My great-grandfather, Captain William Pitt, came from England. He worked hard and believed he could put a ferry into service, and he eventually did. But I know it was my grandfather, and of course Frank was his brother. Both worked the ferries for a lot of years. And my father, of course, I don't know exactly when he started. I know when I started, 1947, when I was 14, because my father had a heart condition and couldn't shovel gravel and carry gas cans and things. People were really, most of them really appreciated you being there to bring them back and forth. Here's a cable ferry, wooden scow. It says here it was launched in 1939. That might have been the first one I started on.
I've lived here on Champer's Bluff now for 35 years. I remember when I was growing up that the ferry left Reed's Point every hour on the hour, and it left Gondola Point every hour on the half hour. And usually the ferry was not full. Now that was, I was in my teens, it was still like that. So things have changed enormously, and more recent residents, people who've come here think, oh well, it's not changing very much. It's changed dramatically. I feel that I live on the peninsula. I don't merely reside on the peninsula and just come here to sleep, but I literally make my home here, and I very rarely, in a way, go into the city.
In 1996, the government of the day hired geoplan consultants to take a look at the traffic patterns for the Kingston Peninsula to determine what was the best method of transportation to and from the peninsula. The bottom line when the consultants finished was that a bridge would be the most efficient means of transporting people to and from the peninsula, the most cost-effective.
For his public service and his pioneering work in the advancement of human rights in this country and beyond, we are proud to name this ferry after Gordon Fairweather.
The only trouble is, I didn't realize then that we were asked to nominate an historical figure.
We really enjoy the ferries because it's kind of a cutout in our day. We can kind of relax, we can slow down out of the fast-paced life that we live.
We really appreciate the ferry because it does allow the peninsula to be so much different from the other side.
We had an old chap up the road here that had caught a moose, tamed it, and he had it so that you could put a bridle on it and lead it like a horse. And on Sundays, he used to take it over to Gondola Point Beach, and people would get their picture taken with this moose. So there was a lot of laughs, days like that.
Most of the people on the peninsula, especially the ones who have been there for a while, are really satisfied with the service, and I think if anybody moves over and decides they want a bridge, perhaps they should make the move the other way.
There are a lot of people, in my view, who do not want to alter the lifestyle of the peninsula. They live there for reasons that are historic. Their families have been there. Some people choose to move there because they like a quieter lifestyle. Ferries become part of the magic of their life, and it's not just a tourist attraction, although that's a factor.
Most people who are traveling back and forth to St. John or Quispamsis on a daily basis aren't interested in magic. The magic that they want is to get across quickly. They don't want to spend their time sitting waiting in a car for 20 minutes and having it idle in the summertime using their air conditioning, in the wintertime just trying to stay warm. It's polluting the environment.
I looked at the situation as minister. It wasn't our plan at the time to build a bridge, but I thought from looking at the whole situation and the cost to run the ferries over a period of the next 15 to 20 years, perhaps a bridge would be the best option.
If you change that transportation system and have a fixed link, then you change this peninsula forever.
It'll just be populated the same as Quispamsis. First off, we got to have better roads. And then, of course, we'll have to have more roads, because where the deer live now will be housing developments. There's no way of controlling the growth of the place if a bridge was built that I have any knowledge about. But maybe somebody smarter than me would come up with a plan.
You say we have a lifestyle here that we value because it's a rural lifestyle, it's not Quispamsis and so on, I agree. But if we want to maintain that and protect it, we have to put a legal fence around it.
If people have land to sell and people are looking to buy and build, I can't see how you can slow it down.
Well, I'd like to see a bridge built here. It would be more convenient to get back and forth to my camp. The ferry is a little bit slower, where the bridge would be accessed pretty easy, so we should have a bridge here.
Well, here it is 5 o'clock, and we got to line up what's it going to be like after 5 o'clock with the 5 o'clock traffic.
People are going to be mad at me, but I don't want a bridge over here. Like I just said, there's too much in-transit traffic, and that ruins a lot of places.
Plain foolishness. They should have built a bridge there instead of wasting all that money on another new ferry.
I would say right now it's a divided opinion, with far more people, I think, preferring to keep the traditional ferries.
We don't need a ferry. We need a bridge is what we need.
For the people who, again, who work on a regular basis and have to go to work early in the morning, come home in the evening, certainly at 5 o'clock or 5:30 thereabouts, you could wait half hour, 45 minutes in the lineup, just waiting to get onto the ferry. It doesn't matter how efficient they are, the traffic volume exceeds their capacity, so somebody's got to wait.
It's the ferry service has done its job, and the amount of traffic there is nowadays, I'm afraid that we're going to have to come to a bridge. With two boats, if they're both running, everybody's all right. It's an inconvenience perhaps, but they're going to get to work. But if one boat is down, it is really bad. People have to leave the line up and drive around, and they're late for work. I think it's going to have to come to a bridge. I don't expect to see the bridge, but
I think for the government to consider building a bridge at the cost of whatever, they would have to have at least the support of the people for whom the bridge is built.
Ferries are here to stay.
We've been given this remarkably beautiful place. And for me, our fundamental responsibility is to take care of it.